Live community, Confidant community, welcome to 2023. Got a new one for you because you know I love to be the pretend DJ. How many of you remember this song? So, if you guys know me by now, I'm all about the lyrics. So, that's the reason I chose this song. So this is the sound of SWV, Sisters with Voices. And they were really big in the 90s. How many of you remember them? Anyway, the title of the song of these amazing soul divas is Use Your Heart. So I thought I would use this song as my opening for 2023 because it resonated with me because it talked about using your heart. And coming into 2023, I know lots of people have different feelings when it comes to 2023. How many of you are going into 2023 feeling really excited? How many of you are going in 2023 feeling a little bit anxious? January is one of those months that kind of bring you back to reality and also can be hopeful. I find it a very, very hopeful month because you can kind of start over. But on the other hand, the bills come in after the holidays in January, right? Live community, how many of you are getting your January bills at the moment? I find that a new year has started, right? But essentially, we are all the same people. I'm Jackie Porter, live community. I'm the Confidant community host for the Ask Jackie Porter series. Anything, I'm still the same person coming into 2023. Hopefully, you're feeling good about the person that you are going into 2023. But the reality is the Visa card and the MasterCard still remember where you live, right? They still know where you live. So even if you're going into 2023 feeling like a different person, your MasterCard and your Visa and all of your other bills will not forget you. They just won't. So the other thing that comes around this time of the year is all of your statements, from your investment statements to your mortgage statements. So I don't know how many of you out there have started to receive those statements. If you've been receiving them, you might get your statement with all of the interest rate changes that we had in 2022 and feel like you're just not making too much progress on your mortgage or your debts. You might get your investment statements and think, I haven't increased my net worth very much from 2021 into 2023. So all of those things could be giving you that sense of excitement at the beginning of the year or dread at the beginning of the year. Perhaps maybe in 2022, you landed that job opportunity you've been looking at and there's more money in your pocket. So you might be, feeling a bit hopeful about that. But definitely this time of the year, as I said, it's kind of like this two-headed animal, right? Part of you is excited, part of you might not be as excited, just as the reality of the bills coming in from the holidays start to take hold, or you're getting, as I said, some of these statements. So again, some of these realities might be starting to sink in, but I'm here to remind you, Confidant community, that feelings are not facts. Remember, we've talked about this. Feelings are not facts. So it's time for you to put on your big girl pants, your big boy pants, and just start to think about how you can make 2023 better, especially financially, than 2022 was. So today, in the spirit of that, we were playing, Use Your Heart by SWV. And the reason I chose them is because you need passion to really fuel those goals you might set for yourself. around your finances. And so using your heart, it says use your heart, not your mind, but I think you need to use your heart and you need to use your mind when you're creating financial vision boards for 2023. You need to use both. So we're going to talk in the spirit and in support of you reaching your goals for 2023. I want to talk to you in a bit more detail on how to build that financial vision board. So have a seat, get comfortable. Let's talk about building that financial vision board for yourself. So I'm going to ask the live community another question, which is how many of you are familiar with just vision boards? Let's not even get into financial vision boards, but just vision boards. How many of you have used vision boards in the past? I'd love for you to share your comments in the chat if you have. So if you've created one, tell us in the comments. Because really at the end of the day, what vision boards are, they're really a compilation of all of your financial goals, your aspirations, your plans, your dreams, and all of the ideas you have when it comes to your finances and just all of your life goals. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what my vision board includes. This year, trying to fit back into my pre-COVID clothes. I want to lose some weight. You've probably heard me talk about this. I'm still working on live community, so please be patient with me. So that's one of my life vision board goals, is losing some weight, fitting into the clothes, because I'm a cheapskate, frugal, and I want to not buy new clothes, but just fit into some of the lovely pieces of clothing I have. Another goal for me is travel. Being locked down over the pandemic has fueled my travel bug even more. So I've got travel plans in 2023. So I would love to know, please feel free to share in the comments some of your goals, your visions. Maybe if you're creating a vision board for yourself, what are some of your goals for 2023? Feel free to post them in the chat. I'd love for people to share their own. So really, we're talking about my goals, we're talking about your goals. Confidant community, really what a financial vision board is you can actually create a physical vision board just by hanging a bulletin board in your home. I like posting stuff on the fridge so I can see it, especially around dieting. We'll talk more about that. Just so that you have or you can actually create, before I move on, you can actually create a virtual one on Pinterest. So that might be a great place to find images and create a virtual vision board there. I'm going to actually also include some sample vision boards in this week's live summary. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So I think probably one of the most important things I can share with you about storing your vision board is it really needs to be in a place that you can see it consistently. So that's why I mentioned my fridge, because sadly I go there to the fridge a lot. So it's good to be able to see some of my financial and life goals where I'm going to run into them the most, right? So that's the first thing. So having that vision board somewhere where you can see it easily is important. And it's great to have your financial goals and your progress just in one place, just so you have that constant reminder, just to help you stay motivated and keep you encouraged, just so you can stay on track when, of course, life gets a little bit more challenging, as we all know it can. So that's one of the first things I wanted to talk to you about, is just keep it in that place that it's easy for you to see. I talked about the fridge, but wherever you're going to, visit the most, then that's a good place to put your vision board. Or if it's your virtual vision board, it might be your, backgrounds, the background of your computer screen. So just some things to consider. But visual reminders, live community, are crucial to, helping you stay motivated. And I started to give you my example about my plan, my journey, my weight loss journey. And I'm going to just give you an idea of what I've done. These are just to give you some ideas, because we're going to talk about some financial ones. But I feel like weight loss is this time of the year. I mean, that's where the gyms make all their money. They have all those commercials they run. Sure, you guys have all seen them with people going into the gym to lose a couple pounds. So anyway, one of the things I talked to you about is having my vision board, having some visual cues on my fridge so I can see, really what my plan is, because I do have a weight loss plan that I'm on, and I have a picture of me in one of my favorite pieces of clothing that I'm not wearing these days on my fridge. So it's kind of like my deterrent of getting non-healthy things from the fridge. So I've tried this strategy in the past. I don't know why I didn't try it over the pandemic. It worked. So, maybe it took me a while to remember that. So hence why we're doing, vision boards. So that's the first thing is, as I said, really thinking about the visual images that you want to put together and how you're going to put them together, because that's going to help you with, sticking to the goals when it comes down to it. So those visual reminders are some of the things to help you stay motivated. So let's talk about some other images. Ask yourself, because the thing about when it comes to building those financial vision boards, it's really, the visual reminders are important, just really to help you get inspired about how you're going to get started. So let's talk about this again. The vision boards, these visual images are important because they're going to help you get inspired about how you're going to get started on your goals. So I was saying to you, let's go back to my idea of having my old self on my fridge, my svelter self on the fridge, and having me in an outfit I really liked. And so that's helping me to stay on track. That's more my why. I want to fit into my old clothes. But the how of this goal is, how am I going to do it? So one of the things I have on my fridge are some healthy snacks I'm going to eat. So I have, pictures of nuts and fruit and some of the things from my weight loss program that I'm going to eat, your salmon, those kinds of things. So I can see them on my fridge. So even when I'm about to take really take a snack out of the fridge or food, I'm looking at those choices and being really intentional about the things I want to have in my fridge, and also the things ideas for kinds of things I'm going to snack on and eat. So that how, remember, the visual cues on the how is important, and the visual cues on how I'm going to stay motivated. So how I'm going to get started. Getting started is all about picking those things I'm going to eat. So the things I'm going to eat to reach my goal. And then the other part of it is how I'm going to stay on my goal when, I feel like having cake or a cookie or something, going out to the store to get something that is not on my fridge, that's not on my list. How am I going to stay, seeing that svelter, the person that I want to be again in the clothes that I have already that I don't want to buy again. So it's just having you think about that. I'm going to give you really another example. And really it's about debt. Because we started off, we were talking about the investment statements coming in the mail, the credit card statements coming in the mail, again, Visa and MasterCard know where you live. So they think same old you, right? They know where to find you. So let's talk about debt, because I get a lot of questions from the live community and from clients around debt and how to stick to that goal of repaying off debt. So if we're building that vision board around debt, maybe add an image of the tools. Remember, we're going back to the how. How are you going to get started? And how are you going to keep on track? So the how you're going to get started is really add an image of the tool that you're going to use to pay off debt. So maybe you're in service of your goal, maybe you're going to get budget software to make sure you watch how much money you're spending. And if you have a goal of how much you want to put toward that, you add that into your budget so it's easier for you to stick to it. So if you have a visual cue, when you build out your vision board, either virtual or on the fridge or in the kitchen or in the living room, wherever it may be, then you can see how you're going to get started on this plan. But then the other part of the image should be what's going to inspire you to stick to that debt repayment plan again when things get hard, because maybe you get have a really bad week and you're thinking, geez, instead of paying off this debt, I'd rather go shopping. I haven't been in the mall for a few months and I'm seeing all these sales online, Facebook sending me stuff, Amazon sending me sales and things I should buy, and you fall off track. That's when that vision board's important. So having those visual cues, like somebody sleeping soundly at night, might be a good one to have on your board when you're facing those challenges and it gets hard. So think about maybe having an image of someone sleeping soundly for your debt repayment plan, or if you're someone who is in debt and it's been a challenge for you to save for your retirement, and that's something that's keeping you up at night, it might be a picture of someone having a very happy retirement that will keep you staying motivated, inspiring you to stick to your debt repayment plan. So those are some ideas around getting that vision board together, having it easy for you to see. But why does this all matter? We're talking about the vision board. Why does it all matter? I think that's something that you really have to ask yourself. Like, why does your vision board matter? Because as you're building out a vision board and you're thinking about what you'll put on there, it has to be personal. It has to be really personal to you for you to really stick to it. So this is where you're going to have to dig really, really deep and think, what's important to me right now? And it's 2023. I'm going into 2023. I might have excitement, but I also might be carrying into 2023 old worries. So what do I want to see happen around my finances for 2023? These are some questions to ask yourself as you build out your vision board. Because why does your goal matter, right? Because the truth is, if you don't have a compelling enough reason to stick to your goals, chances are you won't. You just won't. So, Confidant community, dig deep. Ask yourself, why does this goal matter to you? Because your goals need to be important enough for you to reach them. And I'm going to say this again. Your goals need to be important enough to you for you to reach them, so that no matter what happens on social media, no matter what your friends are doing, how many times they're traveling, all the new goods that they have, you're not going to want to be them. You're going to want to be you, and you're going to want to stick to the goals and to the plan that you have, because it really matters to you that much. So I'm going to give you some other questions to ask yourself as you build out your vision board. The first thing I want you to ask yourself is, what is the one thing you want to change about your finances in 2023? And what is currently keeping you up at night? So what is the one thing you want to change about your finances in 2023? And what is currently keeping you up at night? Number 2, what would it look like to do? What would you like to do more of? What would you like to do more of when it comes to your finances? So what would you like to do more of when it comes to your finances? I know for me, as I mentioned, travel is really crucial. That's one of the things I'd like to do more of in 2023, especially after being in lockdown for the last couple of years. So I have 3 trips planned for this year, and I've already set aside cash in my monthly budget to cover those. But what would you like to do more of? I'd love for you to post in the chat. What would you like to do more of in 2023? Hold yourself accountable. Put it in writing. Put it in black and white so you can see it. Live community, Confidant community. What would you like to do more of? And what's the one thing you'd like to change about your finances in 2023 that is currently keeping you up at night? Please feel free to post in the chat. And then finally, number 3, is there an opportunity in your finances that you're not currently taking advantage of? Again, question for you, live community. Is there an opportunity in your current financial situation that you're not taking advantage of? And just to give you some examples of that, it could be you've been meaning to contribute to your employer's sponsored savings program. I know lots of people we've talked to over the course of the years in being in this business, the last 25 years, of people who, they get excited, they get the dream job, they get all this paperwork when they sign up for that new dream job. And one of those things that were in the paperwork, buried in the paperwork, is their group RSP plan. And, options for places they can invest money and the company will match. But then life gets busy and they never get around to it. And then the years go by and you walked away from some free money from your employer. The cardinal sin. Never say, no, not never. Mostly never say no to free money, Life Community, Confidant Community. So if that's one of your goals, is what's in your current financial situation, what opportunities are available to you that you're not taking advantage of, make that a goal. How are you going to do it? How are you going to get started? How are you going to stay on track for that? Ask yourself those questions. And again, feel free to post in the chat if you have opportunities in your financial circumstances that you're aware of that you're not taking advantage of. We'd love to hear, we'd love to know, and we'd love to continue this conversation with you offline. Because again, as I said, life gets busy and things that you might be planning to do, goals that you might have for yourself, might just fall off the radar. So your vision board might hold a key to answering some of these questions. So find images that might actually inspire you to take action around these questions. And it'll provide you with the fuel to just stay motivated, for some of your biggest financial goals. Find those images to stay motivated and give you the fuel to reach those financial goals. Because remember, our future, everyone's future, my future, is really determined by those small steps that we take every day. All right. So remember, your future is really determined by those small steps. So anything that you can do to take action, to help you take action around making those small steps to that bigger goal, this whole community is supporting that. So I'd love to have you post in the chat, what are your goals for this year? How are you going to achieve them? Hopefully some of these strategies will help you and will be in service of reaching your goals. If you're ready as well, Life Community, to take action around your finances, but really don't feel like you can do this whole thing alone, reach out to us, reach out to our team. Jody is on this live and she can help you get started on creating your financial plan for 2023 and beyond. She's here on the live to offer you that 30-minute financial strategy session. It's complimentary. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. If you came on the live a little bit late and you missed some of the information that we provided today, don't worry. We have got you. We have a live summary that's going to come out on Sunday, so feel free to check that out. It's going to have all the top tips I've talked about today. And finally, we have some amazing content planned for 2023. So please feel free to follow us and share this content if you found it useful. But definitely follow us for all of the latest updates. See you next week, Live Community, Confidant Community. It's always a pleasure to connect and catch up with you. Until then, be good to yourself. And remember, abundance is waiting for you. Take care, everybody.